Welcome to the news and why it matters. I am Sarah Gonzalez. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Mr. Colion Noir from NRA TV.
Nice.
Yay! Thank you for being here again.
Absolutely.
It's great to have you once again. Stu, what is the top story for you?
How to deal with Joe Biden.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh. You mean Middle Class Joe?
Middle Class Joe, Lunchbox Joe.
Lunchbox Joe. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. I can't wait to hear how we deal with Lunchbox Joe.
How do we do that?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know him as Segregationist Joe, but whatever.
Oh, mic drop. Jeffy.
I know this is going to come as a surprise, but I want to talk food. I want to talk a little bit of food. I know.
Stunner.
Just a little bit of food.
I'm with you two. This is going to take up the entire show.
Let us two out of shape people just learn you two.
Yeah, please explain it to us.
As long as there are insane amounts of talks about avocado toast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're getting to the avocado toast later. Colion, what's the top story for you?
Comes as no surprise to anybody. Guns. Federal judge in California basically ruled that California's standard capacity magazine ban to me is unconstitutional.
All right, a lot to get into there, but first we want to thank our sponsor, iTarget Pro. Do you know about iTarget Pro?
I do.
Okay, so iTarget Pro, have you used it?
I think I have used it at SHOT Show one time.
It's amazing. It's the coolest thing ever. They have literally laser bullets that you put into your gun. And I feel like I need to put my pinky up to my mouth when I say that, laser bullets.
No, you're right. You're right.
And so you put it in your gun, and so it makes dry firing easier and more fun, and you're actually learning to pull the trigger, how long the pull is, because with every gun it's different. I'm sure you can speak to that way better than I can.
Absolutely.
But dry firing,
it's essential. Absolutely. I think people tend to undervalue it quite a bit, especially people who don't know much about guns. Like, you even tell me I can become a better shooter by fake shooting my gun?
Right. Yeah, actually, you can. And there's a great way to do that with iTarget Pro. Plus, it pays for itself because if you think about the ammunition costs and the range fees, it really does pay for itself really quickly, possibly on one time at the range. And there's your iTarget Pro. You can go to itargetpro.com. Get 10% off right now with free shipping with promo code NEWS. That is itargetpro.com. Stu, how do you deal with Lunchbox Joe?
Lunchbox Joe has been accused of some very terrible things the last couple of days. 2 women have come forward, as we know, and have said, hey, he touched me inappropriately. I'm fascinated, though, by the reaction to this in the media, because these are, the left-wing reaction sounds incredibly familiar. They seem to be bringing up points that I've heard before. Can we start with Mika on the Joe and Mika morning extravaganza?
A lot of folks will say that women need to be believed and heard, and I believe they should be heard.
Right.
But are we allowed to bring up that Lucy Flores is a huge Bernie person and she has, political connections that might be counter to Biden's goals, and that this could be, hold on, is it okay to bring up this could be politically motivated, or are we just supposed to take all the words and the fact that she says she was violated at face value? Are we supposed to just leave it there?
What? These are points I've heard before. I almost feel like I heard them during the Brett Kavanaugh period, except made by completely different people, and those people were disagreeing the entire time. Let me give you another example. This is from The View yesterday.
Joe is a hands-on kind of guy.
Yeah, he is.
But I've never heard anyone, and she says she felt violated, and I have to take her at her word, but it would have been nice if she had turned to him and said, you know what, Jay, I don't really like this.
What?
Please don't do this, or not, Mr. Vice President, I'm not really comfortable with that. Something, because he's standing right there.
I don't think it rises to points what we've been listening to about Harvey Weinstein and the rest of these people. It just doesn't look like that. And, we all know Joe Biden. He's been here. I remember when I met him in Florida before he was vice president, and he was so friendly. He's a close talker.
Yes.
He comes right up in your face and you're thinking, I hope my breath is good.
Are we going to get to a place where we can't shake hands? We can't hug each other because that, to me, was uncomfortable. I worry about that.
Who are these people?
We're in the twilight zone right now. I swear to you.
It's insane. And when you watch that, I think if you could step back, these are really good points. Like, these are all really rational
Yes,
ways
they
to
are.
look at the story. They all really make sense. And it's different than the Brett Kavanaugh thing in that we have tons of evidence that Joe Biden actually has done these things. He's done them on camera to numerous women. However, this is a rational way to sit back and think about this. You seem a little frustrated.
This is lunacy. What the hell? We just went through literally, what was it, not 6-7 months ago?
Yeah.
Of this, and they were so ardent about the fact, no, my God, believe it at face value, don't question anything, victim blaming. What?
Women deserve to be believed. Believe all women. Believe all women.
And what did we say? You don't believe all women. Women are human beings.
No, you take them at their word. You do take them at their word. But you
hear
also
them.
Hear them, you listen, you take their accusations seriously. You don't just believe them. That's not our system at all.
So am I
I was
just
about to have a cardiac event
I am,
over here.
because that level of cognitive dissonance does just not register in my mind. And I'm trying to understand. So wait, did they just have a change of heart after the Kavanaugh hearing? And now all of a sudden they understand where we were coming from? And now they're... Yeah, no, I'm
going to go out on a limb and say no.
Yeah, right. Because we know the next time a Republican is accused of something, they will forget all of these points and all of this logic. And this is the part I kind of want to go into on like why it matters here. It's a tough thing, I think, for conservatives, and I struggle with how to deal with this because part one of me, maybe let's call this the bad part,
The devil
on my shoulder, wants to say, oh, you're the little precedent you set where everyone believes everything.
Yeah.
Well, guess who's a victim of it today? This little world you've set up is now victimizing you, and it makes me really happy. The angel on the other shoulder, however, makes me think, well, look, we complained about a double standard, right? And we're complaining about a double standard here. And when you have a chance you see a double standard, you need to take the next step and choose which one of those standards you think is right. Which one do you want? Yeah. And I mean, what I want is this one. I want the standard in which we actually have a process. We have innocence until proven guilty. We don't believe the worst in people. We don't take every politically motivated accusation and just throw out lives because of them. And so, as much as I hate to defend Joe Biden, I think he would be a terrible president. He already was a terrible vice president. I mean, he's got to get the benefit of the doubt here. And I just am amazed to see the media go down this road because I can't give them the benefit of the doubt. They knew these points before, and they just chose not to make them when it hurt them.
I feel like this is like a shot across the bow, though, for Biden, saying, I don't think you should run.
Oh, yeah.
This is the crowd. So, you know what, Joe? I know you're leading the pack now because you haven't jumped in the race, but don't jump in the race. This race is not for you, Joe. Take care.
Yeah, we won't do this to you if you
Right.
bail out now.
Right.
Because I mean, even the Biden campaign came back and said, look, Joe has been an affectionate guy. And he's been
Forever,
around for
right.
50
He's a
years.
hands-on guy.
We expect more women to come forward. Like they're even saying it. They're preparing everyone for it. I mean, if he gets into this race, it could be, half of a state could come out and accuse him of these things.
Well, they could come out and accuse him of being touchy-feely, right? No one's ever accused him of being going farther than just being that hands-on, touchy-feely kind of guy, right? Because even
what's on tape is a little bit
creepy,
far,
absolutely
in my
weird and creepy. But even the Nevada lady said that she wouldn't think it wasn't. She didn't feel that she was molested. So it wasn't enough. It wasn't far with that. It was just he's this. It's kind of as a victim of his time. I think doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right.
creepy, no boundary Joe. Yeah. That's what he is. I'm not equating that to him being a molester of any
right,
sort of sexual assault.
So there are boundaries.
Exactly. He just doesn't understand personal space. Clearly. Right. Now, how far that goes.
Right.
That's to be debated.
Right.
And intent is important here, right? They keep trying to make this new standard of it's in this particular situation, it's what the woman felt. So he's done this thing to dozens and dozens of women. Many of them have come out and said, I didn't mind it at all. I love Joe Biden and I was happy he was consoling me, right? Whatever. To me, it's a weird, creepy thing, but it's not a weird, creepy thing to everybody. And because it's not a weird, creepy thing to everybody, it can't just be the feelings of the person on one side of it. It has to be the intent. That's important. Yeah. It's not one of those things that's Mad Men slapping somebody on the butt as they walk by. This is not to that level. So because it's not to that level, you can't just say what her feelings are. We can't let people get convicted over someone's feelings.
What about you're talking about standards here. So what about the standard that Whoopi Goldberg said on The View, that it's up to the woman?
Personal responsibility?
Yes, it's up to the woman to then say, excuse me, Mr. Vice President, I don't find that to be appropriate. What do you
I thought that had to do with the power structure, right? It was too much power. You couldn't say that. You couldn't say that because I wanted to say no, but he was the vice president.
So which standard do you pick there?
I think that it's the appropriate standard. I think, look, in some of these cases where it's, there's a physical threat, you can understand a woman not being able to speak up and say certain things. If someone's in your personal space, Jeffy's in my personal space all the time, and ask him, I say, dude, I have a personal space thing with you, please move away. I'll say it to him all the time.
I see it all the time.
And this idea, it's true. But I think that is part of it. And not even in a bad way. If Joe Biden comes up and he's being creepy Joe and he puts his hands on his shoulder and he'd say, yeah, sorry, I'm just weird with personal space. He's going to be like, oh, okay. I can't imagine. If he keeps coming after that, he's absolutely guilty.
Right.
Yeah. But if he's not,
So you don't believe in the power structure excuse?
I think there's a subtlety in interaction, right? Where there's a kind of, all right, I'm awkward here, but I know if I say something about this awkwardness that I'm feeling, it may make things overtly awkward. Mm-hmm. Maybe I just need to shut up and take this awkwardness. Then the question becomes, how far do I do that? How far do I subject myself to this level of awkwardness, and how consistently, depending on who I'm dealing with? We are talking about creepy no boundaries Joe here. So, if I'm interacting with him on a daily basis in public and he's constantly, and I'm just feeling weird about it, the question then becomes, I'm not equating it to a level of him being a sexual predator, but it's all right, this is getting a bit much, right? But then he is Joe Biden, right? So then the question becomes, all right, so do I say anything? And then if I do, he might feel awkward about it. And then now all of a sudden I'm out of a job. You get what I'm saying? I think there's a level of that too.
And that's why, I'm not saying that, if we're going to talk about Harvey Weinstein and what happened with him, that, okay, they got to a point where they were in private and they had plenty of opportunities to say no and all of that. But I'm talking about, these are women, they're standing in front of a crowd and he's getting all up in their business. You're in front of people and you don't really know how to criticize him.
Right, unless it really bothered me, I don't know that I would say something. However, if I don't say something, I'm not coming out 5 years later in a big political moment.
Exactly.
That's your time to do it, is at the beginning. And it's a tough one, and I there are these different power structures that can be, they can add to the strangeness of these interactions. But we're getting to a point where everyone wants us to just bring along our W-2 forms and show them to each other and make sure, okay, I earn 2.6 times as much as you, so I can't say these words, but I can do these things. We're human beings. Every relationship, every marriage starts off with, at some point, there's a first kiss. And every guy knows the first time you go in for one, you have absolutely no idea what the hell's going to happen. Maybe not everybody. Maybe that's just me.
I get contracts signed.
Yeah, there you go. But that's where you have to go. And it's unless you specifically get a contract signed, you're not going to know. And if you can't have that first interaction, and if you do it and you don't read the room the exactly perfect way, that you're going to be some sort of sexual harasser. That is overturning thousands of years of human interaction, and I don't trust the left of today to do that. I don't want to give them that power.
I want to bring up something here that's going on at this table, is the inherent generosity and mercy that is present with respect to our dedication to logic and reasoning and objectivity. That is not provided to us.
No,
in a sense, right? You saw my face. I'm you gotta be kidding me. As far as I'm concerned, Joe should be under the bus with respect to your logic, right? But yet here we are debating the very talking points that they tried to undermine before, now trying to use to their advantage. But yet we're able to sit here and talk about it in such a way. It's you know what? You guys are all over the place in terms of consistency and ideology and as far as merit, but it speaks to that aspect of the media that's more left-leaning that is inherently incredibly childish. It's very juvenile because there's no standards, there's no basis. It's just everything is free-flowing in whatever direction I choose to my advantage at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
We here have angels on our shoulders.
Oh, not Jeffy.
What about,
not Jeffy.
What about the left?
Yeah.
Back in a minute.
Jeffy and the left. Jeffy loans out all of his extra statements. I love it. You're in my personal space.
Before we get into food, we want to thank our sponsor, Home Title Lock. Stu, I know that you have worked with them now for a while, and when I started hearing about this, I was like, home title fraud is like a thing. People
Yeah.
can steal your home and you'd never know it.
I know. It's
insane.
You look at it, it's really kind of a failure of government, right? It's like these forms are filed with local governments and they can be easily forged and turned in, and who's checking them, you know? So people have had it where, you know, they get control of someone else's title, they take out mortgages against their equity, they can steal tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and in some cases they've actually had people move into the home. So it's like a vacation home or whatever, and people come back and there's just other people living there and they've got the paperwork.
Or like someone shows up, rings the doorbell, and they're like, "We're here to move in."
Yeah, and no,
No, you're not. Get off my property.
I have the deed, so surprise, surprise. It's a really big problem. It's one of the fastest growing crimes in America, actually. You know, Glenn always says it reminds him of when identity theft started. And I remember thinking that at the beginning, I'm thinking like, that, who cares what identity theft? That's nothing. What is that? Yeah. And now it's a huge thing. This is kind of at the beginning as well. Home Title Lock's the only company that can protect you against this. And, you know, it's really cheap. It's totally worth it to make sure you're not a victim of it.
You can get a $100 search for free right now. Find out if you have already been a victim of home title fraud by going to HomeTitleLock.com. I guess I'm just going to open the floodgates and let you talk about
food. We can talk about whatever food you want. So we can talk about food. We can talk about food coming across the border. If they close the border down, we're not going to have avocados. I mean, a tear is coming to my eye.
No, listen, you're joking. That's life-changing for me. That is a crisis. There is a crisis at the border if we do not have avocados.
Is Mexico
what else am I going to eat for my healthy
only country that grows avocados? Can we not get avocados from other countries?
Well, they're the best from Mexico.
Oh, well, we wouldn't want you to have second-grade avocados for a week or two.
Thank you.
And I know that there's blackberry issues, too, from Mexico coming
and tequila,
to America,
Jeffy.
That's a problem.
Whoa,
That is a problem.
That is how we convince the swamp that there is a crisis at the border. You got to tell them about the tequila.
That's probably true. And we also have, I don't know, AOC is big on getting rid of all the cows and the meat, but I don't know that she needs to, right? I mean, we've got thousands of restaurants now serving up the Impossible Burger with the Impossible meats, and Burger King is doing it with all their restaurants in the St. Louis area now with the Impossible Whopper going.
What?
So, and I just want to bring some context to the conversation. Stu is a vegetarian.
Yes.
Okay.
America's only conservative vegetarian. That's me. Pretty much true.
We only don't like you if you're vegan.
No, I know. I believe
As long as you're not vegan, you're good.
You are not alone. You are not alone.
That's a fact.
But so the Impossible Burger, and I'm sure you've had it. I've been dying to try it, but I haven't had it. But it bleeds like real meat.
That's what fascinates me is that.
You mean the cancer burger?
How much you people?
It's only 40% cancer.
How much
Come on, don't
people
overstate it.
hate meat, and yet you want the fake meat to look just like meat.
I mean, I think
Drives
what they're
me
trying to do
crazy.
is sell it to people who don't. I mean, but it does taste. I mean, like they did it. They actually, and this is a weird thing. They debuted the new version at the CES, the Consumer Electronics. Whatever that's called. That one in Vegas.
It is cancer.
It's
It's just genetically engineered.
No,
Don't
it is
worry
not.
about it. Don't worry about it. What are you talking about?
That being said, though, even the meat eaters were like going crazy over it because it's
That's what I've
apparently
heard.
like really, really good.
I've
I have
heard.
not tasted that new version of it yet. I think that's still coming out.
Now, there's a couple companies. This was the Impossible. This was the Impossible Burger, and there's plenty. Like there's Beyond Meat. Like there's hundreds, if not thousands, of restaurants that are already serving, the Beyond Meat burgers.
So I mean, I don't know how deep we want to get into this, but I'll give you a quick version of it. The Impossible Burger it's like certain proteins. I think it's pea proteins, but there's a particular. It's all plants.
Okay.
There's a particular. I don't know. I want to say ingredient, but it's a plant, so there's not an ingredient in it. But there's a particular part of the plant called hem. I think it's called HEME.
Yes, HEME.
And it is the same thing that makes meat taste like meat. So but they're able to get it from plants.
They're able to get it from the plant.
So it's the same part. It's the exact same thing that makes meat taste like meat, but it's not meat.
Because I mean, it's the same stuff that
It's not like,
meat is eating to create meat.
There you go. They always say that, like the cow is just a really inefficient veggie burger, right? Like you're just like you're taking in all the veggies and it's converting it into a burger in a very inefficient way. It is interesting, though. I will say that this is making. I mean, 7,000 Burger Kings it's going to be in. It's already in about 7,000 restaurants
Around the country.
They're dumping money into this to make this a thing. Whether it is or not, is just
Besides the cancer Burger King was already giving us, they're going to give us plant cancer.
Wow! Don't bet. No, Burger King. I won't stand for that. No, there's.
Burger King is awful.
Wow.
Oh, I am sorry. Mexican avocado.
I know. The woman who's, I would like that soft, weird, gushy, green fruit vegetable thing imported into our country instead of a good old-fashioned burger.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I love my meats, but I'm
Tell me you don't eat avocado.
I'm pro avocado.
I didn't like. Okay, I used to make fun of people who ate avocado toast.
Yeah.
And then I had avocado toast, so I can't make fun of them anymore. So it's kind of one of those things.
Next time you enjoyed it.
I mean,
I think
He's fumbling. He's fumbling.
It was.
You complete the.
It was avocado toast.
It's right. It's just freaking something on. I mean, toast isn't exactly dynamic here. You're throwing some green goo on it. I mean, I don't think it's going to make it that much better. Which, by the way, turns from green to like a weird gray in just a couple of days.
You got to eat it fast enough. That's all.
Well, and you got to put some lime or lemon juice on it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll make sure to never remember that because I'm never going to do it. But next time you guys are in here, we'll get Impossible Burgers and we'll do a taste test.
I would like to do that because I'm fascinated at how fast this is growing. They're charging more money for it.
Oh, they're very expensive, and they're dumping money.
Yes, they are.
And I got to say that the inspiration to this comes from some vegetarian reasons, but also, it's all left-wing climate reasons and all this stuff. But they want to make it into a thing.
They sure
and
do.
people like, Bill Gates are just dumping money into this to make this a thing.
What is wrong with me?
Thank you.
I mean, this is a longer conversation than we have time
millions
for.
into a product that they want to taste like the actual thing.
How about just make my meat more healthier?
That's what this does.
But it's not meat.
It tastes like meat and it's healthier. That's their pitch. You're like, this is like a commercial for them. Are you paid?
So, I didn't tell you guys.
I want to go back to avocados for a second.
Oh boy.
No.
You can make me expose myself. We're not having that.
I want to hear about this gun ban, and you're going to avocados again?
Well, we don't have time to get into the gun ban.
Come on now.
So I just would like to state for the record, I don't eat avocado toast.
Does that make it any better?
Selling
you're
himself
just
out.
going to leave me on the clip? That's messed up.
Yeah.
See, I was trying to
But
be
what
your
I
ally.
would like to say is I would eat avocado toast if carbs were in my diet. Right? It's just that I can't eat
It still makes
toast.
me look basic.
No, that's not. Avocado toast is not basic. I would argue that avocado toast is.
I eat avocado
It's
toast.
fancy.
I eat avocado toast.
You eat it with your pinky up.
I eat it in secret.
Yes.
You'll never see me eating
Like
in
in your
public.
bedroom
like-
closet where no one can
That
see you.
and bananas. You'll never see me eating in public.
It's good reasoning. I like that.
It is. All right, we'll be back in a minute.
Avocado toast is the shit.
Right, this meat debate lasted so long. We're going to get into the California and the new law in California, high-capacity magazines when we go into overtime. Colion, first, tell everyone where they can find you.
They can find me on every pretty much social media platform you can think of. Just search Colion Noir.
Colion
Yeah,
Noir.
Twitter,
it sounds like
Instagram.
you should be like a super spy.
I'm working on the movie script.
Are you? So you can find him there. Also, in case, actually, probably no one is aware. We just launched a new YouTube. This is where I'm self-promoting.
Nice.
We just launched a new YouTube for the videos that I have been doing. It's called Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered. So why don't you go right now, like literally right now, go to your computer.
Can I subscribe for free?
You can subscribe.
Oh,
for free.
wow.
You don't even have to pay anything.
That's
Stu.
amazing.
It's amazing, right?
I'm gonna do that.
So subscribe right now for free on YouTube. Just search Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered. Do you guys know if they don't have short URLs for pages on YouTube?
I think they do. I just don't
Do
know
they?
how to do them. My guy.
I don't
knows how
either.
to. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, you have people for that?
I have a guy.
Colion's like, I have people for
people.
that. Okay, well, I don't have people for
Just
that.
one guy. You let me make it. I'm one guy.
So you can go there, subscribe at
people.
YouTube. I know. That's
need
what I want.
people.
I need to rise to the level that Colion is and have.
I have one guy.
And then if you have not yet subscribed to Blaze TV, I mean, I'm just going to suggest that you do because you're missing out on the conversation that's about to take place right now. And we might get into avocados again. I don't know. There might be punches thrown because apparently it's a very contentious debate on whether or not avocados should be allowed in this country.
You're making me feel uncomfortable, and I'm going to tell everybody about it in about 5 years when it's a really important moment for you.
I can't even go anywhere with that. You can use the offer code NEWS right now. Save $10 off of your annual subscription. And we will see you guys in overtime. Talk guns.
Guns,
QA.
Pew pew.
Yep. Stole the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say that for you.
You know.
Hashtag.
Do, yeah.
Hashtag pew pew.